Welcome to my garden. I'm Alice Dion, and this is Alice's Garden. I have a very eclectic garden. I have a small garden lot, and I have thousands of plants, very unusual plants. I also have over 400 potted plants, 2 greenhouses, and some big trees and a few shrubs. I don't really think you can put a label on what kind of a garden it is. There's a little bit of Japanese, a little bit of perennial, a lot of shade. It's a mix. I've got way more plants than one should expect on this size of a property. The first thing you see when you come is the archway with the Cecilbrunner rose growing on it. Unfortunately today it's in full bloom. It doesn't bloom very long, just a couple of weeks. It takes you down the brick pathway to the front door. There's shade plants on one side and mostly sun plants on the other side of the pathway, just because of the nature of the shade pattern in the garden. My garden is mostly shade, and I try to take advantage of that by putting lots of wonderful shade plants out, but there are spots of sun, and where there's a spot of sun, then a sun plant goes, like this Tetrapanax, which is a very unusual plant. I have another one of these in the back that's about 8 feet tall, and this one is in a pot, so it'll stay smaller for a while anyway. Several years ago in England, there was a move towards less formal gardens into more of a natural environment, and that's what I do. I don't like to see any bare soil. If it's bare and it won't support a plant in the ground, then I will put it in a container. This is a tricolor beech tree. It's a tree that wants to get really big, and I just can't do that. So it's going to be in the container as long as I can keep it. It's about 5 years old now. This is the only place I have grass, is in the front. And the grass does give a certain panache to the garden that you lose if you have all plants and such. This is my rhododendron path, and basically I have quite a few unusual rhododendrons. I buy most of my rhododendrons for their leaf color, not their flowers, because their leaves are here all year. This is our native huckleberry. It really gets lovely winter color, and it does produce huckleberries. You can see there's going to be lots of huckleberries this year. These succulents are ones that will grow outdoors. A lot of the succulents I have in pots have to be brought in the wintertime, but these are outdoors. On the side of my house I have some bamboo, and I really love bamboo, but you have to be careful with it because it tends to run. Now I do have a couple of patches of Fargesia, which is a clumping bamboo, but these have to be divided about every 3 to 5 years or they will break the pot. Then you come to a seating area with Japanese maples behind it, totally shaded. It is a wonderful place to sit in the afternoon and have a glass of wine with your friends. Around this corner you come under the arch, which is humulus, which is hops, golden hops, and roses. And then this is the tropical greenhouse. This is where I put my plants that would not survive the winter outdoors. This one here, which is growing from the ground all the way up to the ceiling, is a begonia. This is the leaf that is red on the back, pink flowers. It's really a lovely plant. It blooms all winter. On this side I have 2 bird of paradise plants. There's a banana plant hiding in there as well. So coming out of the greenhouse, you come to the little brick patio. Here in my backyard we have quite a few large fir trees. Between the 2 fir trees there's a Portuguese laurel. It gets these wonderful white pendulous blooms. The yellow roses are Graham Thomas, and they're of the David Austin family of roses. They're evergreen, so you don't end up with just a bunch of sticks in the wintertime. There's actually, the leaves get quite leathery and darker green in the winter. These are carnivorous plants. They're Sarracenias. They don't need fertilization because they eat bugs. And they really are good on a patio because I get very few mosquitoes. Some of the blooms are really, really exquisite. It's just really unusual. This is a variegated ginkgo. It's an ancient tree. They're one of the oldest trees in the world, and the variegated one is quite unusual. It's a beautiful, beautiful little tree. This is a rose. It's supposedly a blue rose, but the reality is there is no blue rose. There's no way I would say that's blue. Yeah. This is a Nellie Mosier clematis growing in a euonymus, and the euonymus is usually a shrub that you see around town where people have pruned it into a ball shape, and it makes a perfect foil for the clematis to grow through. I'm going to take you to my fern garden. This is a new addition. Basically, it is a garden on a table and small ferns and unusual plants so that you can really see them a lot better. It's a lot of fun. There are things that will survive in the deep shade and in the dry shade, and I cater to those things. These are raspberries on the left, blueberries behind me, and various herbs behind that. So this is my temperate greenhouse. This is where I keep my succulents that need to be indoors in the wintertime. In the back, I have 3 night blooming cereus plants. They bloom once a year at night, so you have to be vigilant and watch for when they're going to bloom if you want to see them. The very best time to view them is like 1 in the morning. 2 years ago, I had, I think, 10 blooms on one plant. So it's worth it. Even if it's only for a week, it's worth it. In the winter, this is crammed full because my citrus plants come in here as well, my lemon tree and the lime tree. I leave a little path for myself so I can get in and water. I have about 65 or 70 different kinds of hosta in this garden. All those hostas grow beautifully back there in pots, and I call that my hosta path. Back here, I've tried to have more of a tropical effect. Even though it is mostly shade, there's some things that will grow okay. I put my Chinese palms here, and eventually I want to put these in the ground because they're so pot bound that they need to spread out. I'm probably going to have to break the pots in order to get them out. And that kind of completes the circuit of the garden. Thanks again for coming to visit my garden. I love sharing it with people. It gives me a sense of peace and serenity when I'm out here. If you'd like to visit my garden again, please give me a call and I'll open it for you.